Welcome to the Taking Vegas podcast for the weekend of Friday, November 18th, 19th, Saturday, and obviously the 20th on Sunday. Some big things going on, a lot to speak about. Get you some free picks, get you some free pick offers as well, and just talk about sports in general and tie it into sports wagering like we always try to do here. Good to be with everyone. I am Chris Hodge. I host the Sports Investors Daily radio show, which airs every Saturday and Sunday all throughout the country, multiple markets. I think we're in 30 states now, so it's been a great show, great year so far, and have a lot of fun with it, mostly making people money, which is always a great thing. We'll have a free pick for Friday coming up in just a few moments. Give you a free pick for Saturday and then on into the NFL for Sunday, another free pick. Last week, I'm always honest when I do these shows. Not a great job by me with the free picks. It's our first losing week with free picks in 8 weeks. But we had a losing week last week with the free picks and, culminated with that under with Buffalo and Minnesota, which was a bad call on Sunday. It happens. Can't win every game, but we'll bounce back this week. I want to talk about sports in general. Man, I hate to keep bringing this up, but every week they give me ammunition. And once again, the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant comes out. Now, they win last night against Portland. They get a good tip in late in the game. Okay, great. They won a game. But you got this guy, Kevin Durant, comes out and basically smokes his teammates. Smokes them. And we got Edwin Summer. We got Royce O'Neal. We got Claxton. You expect me to win with this group? That's basically what he said. I never in my life have I heard. I don't know what's going on with athletes nowadays. I don't know if they're making too much money. I don't know what it is. And look, I hope they make $100 million a year. I don't care. If they have a phenomenal talent, I'm not here to tell any man or woman they shouldn't get paid. They should get paid. It's not that. But I don't know. I don't know if it's social media. I don't know. But here's what I do know. The Nets had a nice little thing going on a few years ago. Were they championship contenders? Probably not. They had a nice little thing going. They had a good unit there. Unit seemed like they liked to play with each other. D'Angelo Russell was playing well. They had a good group. They bring Durant and Irvin in, and it's all gone to hell. And basically, here's what you've done. You've brought a crybaby in, because Kevin Durant's a crybaby. I don't care about anything. He's a crybaby, okay? He comes out this past week. He goes, do you expect me to win with this group? Let me be perfectly clear. The only time I ever expected Kevin Durant to win is when he had Steph Curry with him. That was it. He didn't win before him. He ain't going to win after him. Golden State won before Durant, and they won after him. So the only time I've ever expected anything from Kevin Durant, anything at all, is when he had Steph Curry with him. I never expected him to win with the Nets. I didn't expect him to win with Kyrie Irving, because the only time Kyrie Irving won is when he had LeBron James with him. That's it. He didn't win before him. The Cavs were terrible before LeBron came back. He didn't win after him. When he went to Boston, they were better off without him. He ain't going to win here in Brooklyn. Okay? So basically, here's what the Nets have done. They brought a crybaby in Kevin Durant, who's never winning unless Steph Curry's there. And all of a sudden, there's talk about trading him back to Golden State. It's the only place Durant can win. The only place Durant will ever win is if Steph Curry is standing right next to him. That's it. You want to make the argument when Durant was on the Warriors, he was the best player on the team? Okay, I'll give you that argument. But he was that good because he had Steph Curry with him. Simple and plain. Steph Curry's still great. Durant can't win. Nor can Durant lead. So you got a crybaby in Durant. You have an absolute lunatic in Kyrie Irving. And I firmly believe that Kyrie just wanted another yearly 2 or 3 week vacation, and he just came up with a way to get it. Because this guy is great at taking vacations during the NBA season. He's a professional at it. He's awesome at finding a way to get 2 or 3 weeks off every single season. Every single season. So he is an absolute lunatic. And dare I say it, you got a quitter in Ben Simmons. Now everyone, mental health, all this great. Okay. I'm not here to kill anyone that says they need mental health. Whatever. It is what it is. I'll tell you this. A lot of people in the world would like to have those mental health problems with $25 million or $30 million a year. I'll tell you that much. Okay? So you got a guy who quit in Philadelphia, decided he don't want to shoot, and he's still not shooting now. So you got a guy who quit. And no surprise that his initials for his names are BS, okay? You got a crybaby in Durant. You got a mental absolute a lunatic in Kyrie. Why on earth did you guys expect to win? Why? Why with that group? Why? You don't see none of this nonsense from Giannis. You don't hear none of this stuff from the Celtics with their 2 stars. They figure it out. You never hear this stuff from Golden State. Now, albeit you had Draymond throw a punch this year, but they've been pretty damn good, and their track record is pretty good, okay? You don't hear a lot. LeBron never says boo, okay, in terms of playing. He might be outspoken off the court, and that's his right. Right? We're free to say whatever we want. Fine, no problem. But LeBron always shows up when he's healthy. No problems. Durant, Kyrie, Simmons, you guys expected to win? Really? I'm not seeing that. But, hey, you won last night. So all fine, well, and good. So that's basketball. And right now, look, you cannot go on or against the Nets. You just cannot. I always say I'll tie it into sports wagering. Do not put any money that you have earned throughout the course of the week on or against the Brooklyn Nets. You never know what's showing up. That's not what you want to be involved with. Let's go over to football. So you got this guy, Aaron Rodgers, who's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. No one is going to take that away from him. When he retires, he goes down as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time who won 1 Super Bowl, who decided to take a $50 million contract. Now, here's my point. If it's all about winning, and this is just me, feel free to disagree. If it's all about winning, and I already got all the money in the world that I need for generations of my family to have great success and comfort, what was wrong with taking $25 million this year and putting the other $25 million back into the team? Maybe keeping Adams. I don't know if Adams would have stayed. He was hell-bent on maybe playing with his friend. You see how that's working out, okay? What was wrong with taking $25 million? What was wrong with taking $35 million? Is that not enough? No, you got to take 50. Now your team sucks. Now they're talking about playing Jordan Love over you. Jordan Love. Really? Really? No shot at making the playoffs this year. The Packers' win total this year was 10.5. It's already done. We haven't even hit Thanksgiving. They can't reach the 10.5 wins. That was their win total that Las Vegas set. Not even Thanksgiving. Can't win. Can't get there. Okay? Best they could do is 10 wins. Can't get to 11. Their total was 10.5. And that's if they win out, which they're not going to do. They looked terrible last night against a Tennessee team that came in with basically everyone hurt. And Tennessee just goes right up and down the field, makes enough plays, goes down the field early, goes down the field. At home. Green Bay at home. Tennessee got a good record, okay, but they're not anything special. And right up and down the field they go. And how bad that make Dallas look? That Dallas couldn't figure out a way to beat Green Bay last week. By the way, we had Green Bay in that game. That was a good NFL pick for us. The Thursday night action has gotten a little better. Now we get on to Thanksgiving next week, which is fun. And by the way, when we do the podcast next week, it's going to be done on Wednesday. So we can set you up for Thanksgiving. Let me get you a free pick here for Friday. Usually I've been going with totals. San Diego State is now playing New Mexico. New Mexico is a terrible football team. Now, San Diego State struggles to score. New Mexico can't score. Okay? However, I'm going to lay the points in this game. Oftentimes, I don't like to go with, heavy favorites, especially on the road, double-digit favorites. Double-digit favorites in college are not nearly as bad as double-digit favorites in college football because the talent gap is so wide. But for Friday night, San Diego State's playing New Mexico. We will lay the 14.5 with San Diego State. If you could buy them down to 14, do that just in case they win 28-14. You get a push, but I don't expect New Mexico to get a 14. I think it's 31-7 tonight, to be honest with you, somewhere in that area. So San Diego State, minus the points, will lay the double digits for Friday night. That will be your free pick here for Friday. There's some big NBA action if you're at takingvegas.com right now. If that's where you're listening to this, obviously we got free write-ups, free game breakdowns, the whole weekend planned. That's over at takingvegas.com. If you're just catching this on a podcast, wherever you happen to listen to them, just go to takingvegas.com. There's, again, free pick articles all over the place, free odds, free scores, free write-ups, weather reports, injury reports, the whole 9 yards over at takingvegas.com. So go check that out. But, again, your free pick for Friday will go with San Diego State against New Mexico. Let's move on to Saturday. TCU is playing Baylor. There has been no team in recent history, and if you guys can think of one, just please let me know, that has been more disrespected on the point spread than TCU. Every week, this team is a low line favorite, or sometimes like just you look at the line and you scratch your head. And every week, that last week, +7 against Texas? Who the hell is Texas? The disrespect. By the way, Texas is a 9.5-point favorite at Kansas. They never cover against Kansas, so just keep that in your mind. And Kansas has played well at home. But we'll get to TCU and Baylor. So Baylor last week plays Kansas State. By the way, we had Kansas State last week over at Sports Investors Daily, the radio show that we've always done. And they look disinterested. They get annihilated in the game. Not even close. Now they get TCU. Baylor has nothing to play for. TCU has everything to play for. TCU is only 2.5. The money line is coming down. The money line during the week was -146, -147. Now it's -136. Very odd situation. So either they're wrong on TCU all the time, which they might be, because I want to make this point. Go do some research. The odds makers in college football this year, if you give them 3 points either which way. So if a team is -7, if you give them 3 points down to -4, if you give them 3 points up to -10, that's a 6-point swing, right? We could agree on the mathematics. If you give them 3 points either which way on the spread, not the total, talking about just the point spread for the side, the odds makers have hit 8% of those games. 8. Less than 10%. 8% of the times they're right. Take all the college football games, take all the sides, and give them 3 points either which way. Don't even just say -7 and hit -7. No, give them 3 points, which is a 6-point swing. They've won 8%. That's how many they've hit. So the odds makers are generally wrong. They've been wrong on TCU all year long. Last week, +7, outright winner by 7. The only game they've really gotten right on TCU was the Kansas game. That was the only game they got right, because that was right around 7, 7.5, and they won by 7. Other than that, the TCU lines have been wrong all year long. And -2.5 today, for Saturday. That's a tricky one. So do some research on that game. You could also give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-994-6669. We have a breakdown on that game. We have a rivalry game between USC and UCLA. Now, I've said this for years. I've gotten rather rude emails from the Pac-12 loyalists. And when I say rather rude, these are almost like New York type emails. Very rude emails. And every year I say the same thing. Every year I'm proven right. Your conference sucks. It always has sucked. It always will suck. The Pac-12 stinks. That's why USC and UCLA are trying to run out of it, go all the way across the country to play in the Big Ten, because you can't win out of the Pac-12. The Pac-12 does it to themselves every single year. Last week, what happened? Arizona throws a monkey wrench. What happens? Oregon can't figure it out. Every single year this goes on in the Pac-12. Every single year. Your conference is terrible. Terrible. Always has been, always will be. It's just football. Basketball, you guys aren't bad. A couple years ago, you had a nice run there in the tournament. You had a bunch of teams in the Sweet 16. I'm not getting on you for basketball. I'm talking about strictly for football. Colorado stinks. Utah lost to Florida, who is mediocre SEC. UCLA, they lose to Arizona. USC is probably the best of the bunch, but I'm not sure they get by UCLA in this game. Oregon always figures out a way to screw up. Oregon State, forget. Stanford, forget. California, forget. Will never be relevant ever in national title picture. The conference sucks. So you guys go send all your emails and your complaint and your hate mail. Do all that. I don't care. Your conference stinks. It always has stunk. It always will stink. That's it. And the times you won national championships, you had to give those back. Because USC, we could say they cheated. I don't think they did. But whatever. Those were, they were paying a lot of money for Reggie Bush and those type of guys over there. It's when you win national championships. This is the last national championship the Pac-12 was won. So they did it to themselves again. They will not be. The only shot they have at playing in the CFP is USC, and I don't even think they could pull that off. So USC goes to UCLA. Both teams obviously hate each other. USC a slight favorite. They had their running back got injured, so just be aware of that. Last 3 years, the average score in this game has added up to 88 points. The total's at 76. So slight free play here. We're not going to go buck the trend there. Go with the over. And for another free pick on Saturday, you can go with the under in the FIU UTEP game. And so for all of you guys who complain I only give unders, I gave you an over. Over USC UCLA, we'll go with that for Saturday night. That should be a very high-scoring game. And then also under 51 FIU UTEP. Let me say it one more time. There's 2 free picks for Saturday. 2 totals, okay? 1, Pac-12, USC, UCLA, go over, 76. 1, FIU, UTEP, go under, which is around 51. There's your free picks. If you want to get involved with what we have going on at Taking Vegas, you can give us a call. Try to learn how to treat sports wagering as a business, as an investment. You can go to 888-9-WIN-NOW. Call that number, 888-994-6669. How we treat, I want to, you know what? I want to say this. I'm in the sports gambling world. I do not consider myself a gambler. I never have. People could argue that. Fine. To me, a gambler is a guy that constantly needs action. Has to bet a game every night. Has to be involved with a game he's watching. Has no plan. Will just throw things against the wall. No money management. Nothing. That's a gambler. A desperate guy. Guy who's just trying to make some money. And I'm not saying that in a bad way either, so don't take it as such. I don't do that. I've never done that. I could sit down and watch the Monday night game if we have no action on it. If we have no action on a Thursday night game, I'm probably not going to watch that because those games generally stink. But Sunday night football, if we have no action, I can sit down and watch it. I can pop back a beer, have some fun, kick my feet up. Just watch the top athletes in their profession play a game. I don't need to have money on it. When I'm in Vegas, I go to the sports books. We bet the game that we bet. I can walk right through. I don't need to play craps. I don't need to play roulette. I don't need to play blackjack, 3-card poker. Whatever other game they've designed to take your money, I don't need to bet those. I walk right through them. I don't care. The bells, the whistles, the sirens, the hot girls that are dealers, it's irrelevant to me. I don't even look at it. I don't care. All I'm trying to do is get some good information where we feel we have the advantage on a certain college football, certain NFL, certain basketball game, whatever the case may be. And I'm looking to bet a certain percentage of my bankroll, which is the exact same thing we tell our customers to do. If you bet every day, if we were going to give you games every day, we would lose. It can't be done. That's why Vegas looks so beautiful. That's why the country wants to go legal. You think if people were making money off sports gambling, that this country that doesn't like to give anything away would say, hey, okay, we'll make it legal? No shot. Okay? But they know they can make money off this because sports gamblers, 98% of them lose money every single year. If you do it the right way and you're select and you're disciplined and you're patient and you have a money management approach and you're not an emotional lunatic like Kyrie Irving, you can make money at this. And no one can argue the point to me because I've been doing it for 20 years and I've made money at it. Right? I had a 65 average in high school. I needed my wife to get me through college. All I did was cheat off my best friend, and my wife did my work for me in college. I'll say it. Somehow got out of there with a 3.2. I wasn't the greatest student. I found a way over the last 20 years to make a living off sports gambling, though. So if I could do it, you could do it. And that point is, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, man. Like I said, schoolwork, I couldn't sit there and do it. But I can make a living off sports gambling. But you got to be select and patient. And that brings us over to the NFL. The NFL is very emotional for most sports gamblers. Tell you why. It's a genius way of doing things. They 1 o'clock games, 4:25 now. 4:25, by the way, is not for TV. It's for the gamblers, by the way. And then the late night game. So what happens is you bet a game at 1 o'clock. Let's be positive. Let's say you win a game you're not supposed to win. Let's say you bet Carolina and Baltimore. Baltimore's minus 13. Let's say Baltimore's up 7 all game long. Carolina gets the ball back with a minute to go, pick 6. You're on Baltimore. You win the game. Now you got this emotional high. This is great. And now what you'll do, you'll figure it's found money. You'll bet a 4 o'clock game. Let's just pull one up. Dallas and Minnesota. And you'll bet that just trying to have a day just because you feel good, and that game will lose. And now you went 1-1, and you have no money on a game you probably shouldn't have bet at all. Let's say you lose that Baltimore game. Let's say you're up 20. Let's say you're up 17. And Carolina comes right down the field. We've all seen this story before. They come right down the field. They score a touchdown with a minute to go. Backdoor cover. Baltimore wins by 10. Now you're on loop. Now you're on tilt. Oh, man, I got to get my money back. So now you bet a 4 o'clock game that you shouldn't bet. What game's on TV? Oh, Dallas, Minnesota. I want to watch that. Now you lose that game. Now, a stupid backdoor touchdown drive not only cost you the Carolina-Baltimore game, it cost you the Dallas-Minnesota game, which you shouldn't be on anyway. So now you're 0-2, and there goes the paycheck. Very emotional. Here's the plan. Pick a game at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Doesn't matter. I don't care. What is the best game? Put your money on that game in your mind, or if you're dealing with us, sports investors, let that game win. Even if that game loses, that's it. That's the plan. No emotion. You don't put your mind on loop. You just reset. Okay, we won that game. Okay, we're going to look later in the week. Okay, unfortunately, that game lost because we don't win every game. And we'll look later in the week. We'll stick with the plan. What the hell is good as having a plan if you ain't going to stick to it? Why even make one? It's a waste of time. But we make a plan. That's why we're successful. You should take all these looks. Look, Brown Bills, we know that game's in Detroit. Hopefully Buffalo is going to get crushed with a snowstorm, but hopefully they're all right. Eagles, Colts. Eagles just look terrible on Monday night in the game. The whole world had them. They look terrible. Commanders and Texans. And no one in the world is going to put their money on Houston, but you're really going to trust Washington on the road off a Monday night game. So there's tough games. Jets and Patriots. Jets look good against Buffalo, but are you going to trust them because Belichick usually puts an end to their season every time he sees them? Lions and Giants. Do you trust the Giants yet? The Giants are the most untrustworthy 7-2 team you'll ever see. So there's a lot of hard stuff here going on in the NFL. I will give you a free pick. Yes, it's another under. Free pick for Sunday. You got one quarterback going up there crying because that's what Derek Carr did. He went up there crying. You got another quarterback going up there, and he's audibling for the team he used to play for. Did you read that story? Russell Wilson goes up to the line of scrimmage for Denver, calls audibles that he used to have for Seattle. $245 million, can't figure out what team he's playing for. Are you kidding me? So what the hell are you going to go with these two quarterbacks for? Force them to beat you? Go with under. Las Vegas and Denver. That'll be the free pick for Sunday. By the way, if Denver found a way to score 18 points a game, they'd be 8-1. 18 points a game. In this day and age, you should do that in your sleep. But Denver has some injury concerns. They got a head case for a quarterback. Las Vegas has injury concerns, and they got a quarterback, grown man, who goes up to a press conference and cries. That's a great look. Under Las Vegas and Denver. And for everything that we have going on for Sunday, because we have a big week planned. We have 2 big games for Sunday. We have the Monday night game between San Francisco and Arizona, and it'll lead you right into the Thanksgiving Day games. Visit takingvegas.com if you're not already on the website, or give us a call at 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. Before I end this podcast, again, here is the recap for the free picks. Gave you 4 of them. Friday night, San Diego State, buy it down to 14, should kill New Mexico. Saturday, 2 of them. Over USC, UCLA, which is around 76. That should be easy. Both teams' defenses stink. They should have a field day with the offenses in that game. Or the offenses should have a field day. Under 51, FIU, UTEP. That's Saturday, 2 for Saturday, and then a free pick for Sunday under Las Vegas, Denver. Visit takingvegas.com for all your sports gambling needs. It's a great website. Write-ups, odds. I've already said that. So you get the gist of it, what we're doing there. And hope you guys enjoy the weekend. Hope you guys enjoy Friday. When we do the podcast next week, it'll be done on Wednesday, setting you up for the holiday and Thanksgiving. Want you guys to have a great weekend. If you need any help, you want to learn how to wager on sports correctly and invest properly, give us a call, 888-9-WIN-NOW. That's 888-994-6669. Have a great weekend, everyone. It's Chris Hodge signing off. We'll catch you back next week on the Taking Vegas podcast.